Hi, and welcome to the 1.1 release of OMERO.figure. I'm going to quickly demonstrate some of the new features that are available. Starting in the web client, I'm going to select the images I want to work with, copy the URL, link to them using this icon in the top right here, and then open Figure in a new tab, create a new file and paste these images in. So, first thing I want to show you is under File and Paper Setup, I can now choose a number of pages for this figure. So if I choose 6 here, okay, you'll see that I've got 6 pages on the canvas, and I can move images between the pages simply by dragging them across the canvas like this. And again, if I change the number of pages, let's go back to a couple of pages. The changing in page numbers doesn't change the position of the images, but I can easily zoom around and move these back to where I want them here. Okay, so let's zoom into these images, and I'm going to show another feature with scale bars up in the right here. If I go to the Labels tab and add a scale bar, I can now add a label to the scale bar to indicate the length of it. By default this is 10 microns, and I can change the size of the font for these. Let me just select a couple of these images at the top. I can change the position of the scale bar as before, and if it's at the top, the label will be underneath the scale bar. Now, these images at the top were taken in a different experiment from the ones at the bottom, so the scale bar is a slightly different length. If I want to compare features between these and show them at the same magnification, at the top of the figure I can choose to align the size by magnification, which will make these ones a bit smaller, so now the scale bar is the same size in all of these images. Now, you've always been able to change the color of different channels in Figure, but what I can do now is to use a color picker to have a much wider range of colors available. So I choose a light purple for this, and I can do the same thing to labels. So I'm going to quickly add some labels based on the channel information, and then if I want to change the colors again, I can use this to maybe pick a slightly darker shade of purple there. Okay, so I'm going to make a quick time-lapse figure for this image by copying and pasting and moving the T slider for this panel, and again copying and paste and slide the T order to the last point. And I want to focus these on a single nucleus in the image, so I'm going to zoom in and pan. But now in this release I can do this in a different way, simply by clicking this crop icon at the bottom here, and by choosing a region with a simple crop selection. So I can choose this cell there, and that will crop each of these 3 panels to exactly the same region. Again, if I launch that same dialog again, I have another option here, which is to use ROIs that I've previously saved to OMERO using the Insight Java client. And this one I'm going to pick that has shapes spanning across all the different time indexes. So having chosen that one, what this does is we'll crop each time point according to the shape that's saved at that time point. Okay, a slightly different scenario using this feature. If I copy and paste these images, and again I'll launch the crop dialog. So now I've got regions, shapes saved on different Z indexes, and so I can pick one just like this. And again, I'm going to fix the scale bar here because I've zoomed in a long way for these. Let's just turn off the blue channel for here. Now, one thing you'll notice is when we zoomed in a lot, if I go into the info panel at the bottom here, you can see that this is at 30 dpi, and you'll notice that it's quite pixelated. Well, one option we have now is to export this at a much higher dpi by resampling the image at export time. So I'm going to choose the default here, which is 300 dpi, and now you'll notice that the panel on the right here is much less pixelated. Okay, one more feature that I can add to the image at the bottom here is the option to add a figure legend. So I can start typing in here, one, and just to save time, I'm going to copy and paste some text from elsewhere. Okay. And paste again. Now there's some simple formatting that I can add to this text, and there's some information about it. You click on the legend formatting block here. So if I add 2 asterisks either side of some text, it will appear in bold, and a single asterisk will produce italic formatting. So I'm going to add some bold, text with the 2 asterisks to the title, and I'm going to make this name here italics with a single asterisk. Okay, and save the legend here. So that's a figure legend which I can collapse and expand. Right, so I'm going to quickly save this. Release 1.1. And now I'm going to show you some additional options for exporting this. So the default has always been to export as a PDF, but I can now choose to export the figure as a TIFF at 300 dpi. So with these 2 pages here, this will get exported as 2 TIFF images within a zip file. Okay, so there's the download, and I'm going to just download and unzip this, and see what I've got in that zip. So I've got the 2 TIFF images for the 2 pages in the figure, and I've also got a PDF info page that contains all the information about this image, including the figure legend. Let's go back and show one other option for exporting here. So for either format, I can export it with images, which means with the TIFF images that are part of the figure itself. So each panel within the image, within the figure, will get saved as a TIFF file, and they'll get saved at the different stages that they're processed through during the figure creation. So let's go and open that. So here's the PDF itself, the 2 pages and the info page. And now I've got these 3 directories of TIFF images. So these are the originals as they come rendered from OMERO at their original size. The final images are after they've been cropped. And you'll notice that this last one here has been resampled. So for the images that have been resampled, we also save them in their sort of pre-resampled state so that you can see how they've been resampled. So all of these images here will give you a clear idea of the processing steps required to generate the figure, and you can also use these elsewhere if you wish. Okay, thanks for watching.